at a point where we're literally catching, I would call it a second wave at the wave. I was just talking to our landlord, and because of the COVID-19 restrictions, social distancing, and the fact that he wants to put up the rent even more, bring back it, pre-COVID days.
No singing.
No singing. It's really put us in a position where we have to catch another wave and leave our building of, how long have we been there? Over 12 years?
Nearly 13 years.
Yeah, nearly 13 years.
Yeah.
So it is a kind of a bit sad, a little bit, but at the same time, this is what really got me. As a pastor, I kind of had this, we must go back to the building, so to speak. Then I started talking to people, well, quite a few people at the Wave, and almost everybody said, Kurt, Melanie, we should not go back there. God is doing something different. We're sensing like there is a second wave. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we had a meeting with our leadership, it was really clear that there'd been some talk and prayer and seeking God. I know the ones who are more prophetic were starting to feel this quite a while ago. And the interesting thing is that I was saying, Lord, you've got to make certain things really clear, and these will be signs. And obviously, there's no point paying for a year's contract in a building that we can't really meet, because we're not going to be able to sing, we're not going to be able to prophesy over each other, we're going to have major social distancing. It's too small.
I think
we
it's
can't
going to be
fit
like
everybody
a dentist's office waiting room or something.
Oh yeah, you can only get 15 or 20 people.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're laughing right now, but I think the thing is, we've had time to process. It's been very quick. We waited on the on the landlord to actually just make that final decision, to hear what he had to say. And so it's with sorrow and with a great sense of expectation that God is doing something new, that we give you the news that we will not be meeting at the Wave building in Portamanus on the 5th of July.
Yeah.
In fact, we will terminate our contract end of June. And I know this is a bit of a shock to you, but we do really believe that God is leading us and doing something new. But Kurt, how are we going to manage this? We're online for a lot of people, because some would never come to the building anyway.
Look, for a move, this is the best time, because we've been online for the last 3 months anyway, and we've been kind of meeting together informally. But I think the second wave is taking us to San Pedro. I mean, most of us feel that there is something in San Pedro, and if you're in the UK and you haven't been out here for a while, or in Egypt, America, wherever you are, a lot of other places are just dead. They're just like, there's no life in them whatsoever. But San Pedro, you can still see families, life, there's people at the beach. It's as if the COVID-19 didn't even happen, although you will see the mass. So we really sense God. And the funny thing is when I say catch the wave, I don't even know what shape or form the wave is going to be. I mean, I believe we'll be in San Pedro, but I can't even tell you that next week we will be in such and such a place in San Pedro. But this is where faith comes in.
So we're asking you to pray with us, stand with us. If you feel that this is a time to pray and fast, we would encourage you to do that. We have various options. We could possibly come online just with a message, and then maybe meet on the beach or in a shady area to worship and to be together. But even like last night, the picnic, we had a security lady come and say, make sure there's only 15 of you in a group. So we had to kind of separate out, we separate 15 here and another 7 or 8 there. So it is rather challenging. So what would be really nice is if we could, if God opens the door for us to be in a restaurant, or perhaps a
I want to
a
be on a
conference room.
Chiringuito right on the beach. That's my vote.
Well, I'm thinking in the summer, so we're looking at maybe a hotel conference room where it is air conditioned, where tea and coffee and just the normal kind of we've got some bathrooms to use and things like that. It would be easier for the
NH
for the
hotel on the
children.
rooftop.
We could try the NH hotel, but anyway, so we would really covet your prayers for some guidance and for some opening. So we need to have places where there's space where we can be together.
Yeah, and just a few days ago, I was reading. I just kind of opened the Bible. You know how you do that? I wasn't consciously looking for anything, so I just opened it up to Mark 6. And I read, Melanie, Jesus walking on the water.
Yes.
And at first I said, oh, that's interesting. I've heard that story so many times. What relevance does it have to what we're doing now? And I think it will have relevance to everyone that's listening right now. And there's something that I never picked up. I mean, Jesus made them, his disciples, get into the boat. He didn't suggest that they get in the boat or, guys, consider getting into the boat.
And he stayed on the land.
He made them get into the boat. Then he said goodbye. And he probably had to make them because, of course, they were fishermen. Of course, they knew that a storm was going to come up. I don't think that storm caught them by surprise. But anyway, they were straining hard at the oars. They were in fear of their lives. And suddenly, Jesus walks in the water. They think it's a ghost. They freak out. And then in the midst of the turbulence, and so often we have turbulence, change in our lives, when the storm hits us. So in the midst of that turbulence, Jesus said, take courage. It is I. So if you see that we're excited and we're not lamenting and we're not like fearful, it's only because we've heard, I really believe I've heard God say, Kurt, take courage.
Yeah.
It is I.
Yeah.
Melanie, Neil and Valerie, whoever's watching, take courage. It is I. And then when Jesus got them to the other side, to Gennesaret, that's where like unprecedented miracles. I mean, everybody was healed. There was a breakout. So I think it was one pastor that was speaking to us. He said, Kurt, when we move to San Pedro, I really believe there's going to be a similar breakout, and we're just going to see, amazing miracles from God. So I'm excited, but I need to hear those words, to be honest. Take courage. It is I.
And I just wanted to encourage those of you who've really loved coming to that particular building, like I have, that there is a place in God where we can lament and we can say, we're not going to be there, but actually to look forward to what God is preparing, because He never gives us, our future is always brighter than our past. He's always got more that He's preparing. And in that preparation, He's stretching us. In that preparation, He's drawing us closer together. And I've had to actually just kind of remind people, actually, the building's not the church, it's the people. We are the living stones. And even to some children, I say, wherever we are, that's church. And it's been so exciting just seeing some eyes just pop open, because not everybody really realizes that actually we don't go to church. We are the church that meets in a building.
But I know it's very cliche. People say, I have no regrets, but literally I have no regrets. I mean, that building has been the most incredible tool, common meeting place.
It's been a net.
Yeah, it's been hard sometimes. I remember sometimes like we're in debt, we couldn't pay the rent, but so many people have helped us throughout the years. It's a miracle that we've kept it for almost 13 years. Yeah. And sure, where did those years go? But honestly, I don't have any regrets.
Well, one of the things that we were discussing is that if we are based in San Pedro, we are still in the Marbella area, which means that Puerto Banús is in our district, Marbella is in our district, and so we have the opportunity to do outreach into these areas. We'll see what God does, because I think He's adding to our numbers. He's definitely maturing and developing us. I was just speaking to our leaders the other day on Zoom, and we were talking about how, when there were converts in the New Testament, basically, if you were a week old in the Lord, you were given maybe someone who's a day old in the Lord to look after. And I think with kind of a religious kind of way of thinking, we've forgotten that that's how it is. Younger brothers are looked after by older brothers and sisters, etc. And so let's take that as a challenge to be mature, to rise up. And what Kurt said about the new season of signs, wonders, and miracles following those who believe. We really believe with all our heart that there's a new wave of what God wants to do. He wants to release the supernatural through us, because when we meet people on the street, what is going to touch them? It's going to be us being able to minister to them, to be able to bring healing to their lives, whether it's emotional or physical. And so these are the exciting things that we're looking forward to.
Yeah. So the most important thing, imagine you're out there, waiting for that wave. I don't know, we're in Ilfracombe, say, for example. I like the Willicombe or something. I like the beaches. David, then I'm sure it's absolutely
Jeffreys
beautiful.
Bay. What's wrong with
J
you?
Bay in South
Jeffreys
Africa,
Bay.
or Hawaii,
That's the best.
or Portugal. I saw huge waves in Portugal. Imagine you're there on your surfboards. Right now, the most important thing to do is, if you're not signed up, okay, you go to puertobanúschurch.com and register so you can get newsletters. If you're not a Facebook subscriber, please subscribe to the Wave Puerto Banús Christian Church on Facebook.
And don't forget, for your giving, okay, we are really trying to stay away from money, so we're trying to get everybody who wants to give regularly. That's a fixed deposit you can organize, or you can go onto the website. There's PayPal as well. We're looking into other ways of being able to make it so much more easy for you to be able to give. at this time especially.
So we want to say goodbye.
No, we're not saying goodbye.
Get your
We're
surfboards out
moving
there.
over to you.
No, we're not.
We're not?
No. I'm going to put this out separately on
Oh.
Facebook. So just
good.
yeah. So I said goodbye. So say goodbye.
Oh,
I'll get it. Say
okay.
goodbye.
We're going to say goodbye. So thank you for being with us. This has been really a precious communication time for us. We pray that the Lord will strengthen you, bring you courage in this time of difficulty and change as well. We're still facing COVID. Do not underestimate this disease. It is really important for us to be able to guard ourselves and look after each other. So God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Goodbye. Get your surfboard out.